All right, here we go with another live study session. And I've had people done study sessions with me in the past. And y'all know we like to do the study sessions live. So we're going to get into this moment. How can I explain this with all the events and the laws and everything that are being changed with the times, with the weather? How can I explain we have the weird weather and just things overall not going anybody's way, period. So we're going to start off with the belief or the understanding that the Antichrist has risen. We're going to start with that. So I went straight onto the internet and I've researched my own material here on the Antichrist, because the Antichrist, they spoke about the Antichrist in the book of Daniel and in the Hebrew Bible, written about 167 BCE, about close to the time of before the death of Yahshua. Because remember, if you've been watching my videos, we calculated Yahshua's death at 320 BCE. No, so that would be after, okay, the Antichrist, they wrote this after his death, okay, right, because you're going reverse time, okay, my bad. So they brought up the theory of the Antichrist, and particularly in the Bible, it speaks about the Antichrist in the book of Daniel and in the Hebrew Bible, where the Hebrew Bible was actually written in 167 BCE, okay, after Yahshua's death, okay, after Yahshua's death. And it foretold the coming of a final persecutor who will speak great words against the Most High and wear out the saints of the Most High and think to change times and laws. Now I'm warning you, the Antichrist is here. The Antichrist is in your face every day. And you see him on TV every single day trying to change the times and the laws. That is the key words right here to know that the Antichrist has risen. That's what I'm really trying to say. The Antichrist has risen. So the prophets in the book of Daniel and the prophets in the Hebrew Bible that was written in 167 BCE, what they said in these two books is coming true right now in 2025. Because we have a person that we all see every single day on TV speaking great words and trying to change the times and the laws. It's obvious what we're dealing with. Okay? And let's keep going. Scholars agree that the author of Daniel was alluding to the contemporary Hellenistic ruler of Palestine. There's another key words right here. I just caught this shit right here. And Antiochus the fourth of Epiphanes, okay, who attempted to extirpate Judaism, basically get rid of Judaism, get rid of Israel, get rid of the house of Israel, get rid of go back to the Crusades, get rid of the true members of the house of Israel. Right. It goes back to the Hebrew Bible. But what I was taught in the Hebrew Bible myself is that these people were trying to basically eliminate the true descendants of the kingdom of Israel. So the key word here is Hellenistic ruler of Palestine, Antiochus IV of Epiphanes, who attempted to basically get rid of all of the descendants of Judea, or all of the original descendants of Israel. Let's check this. Let's see who this guy is, man. The Hellenistic ruler of Palestine. Oh my goodness. And then said today that the damn Gaza Strip belongs to him. Like, more key indicators that the Antichrist is risen. It's in your face. It's in your motherfucking face. The Hellenistic ruler of Palestine. Let's go check this guy out real quick. Let's see what we at least can get on this dude, man. Okay, Antiochus, I'm having a hard time pronouncing his name. Antiochus IV of Epiphanes, okay? And he died in 215 BCE. No, he died in 164 BCE. Man, refresh. Don't even try that shit. Refresh. Yeah, we getting deep off into this Antichrist shit today. He was born in 215 BCE and died in 164 BCE in Tabe, Iran. Was the Seleucid king of the Hellenistic Syrian kingdom. Oh my goodness, man. Here we go, man. So the Antichrist is a copycat. The Antichrist is a copycat. Just like it said in the Bible, the Antichrist is going to copycat somebody that previously tried to pull this shit off on the kingdom of Israel, on his descendants, on his people. Now I see this. The Syrian kingdom, who reigned from 175 to 164 BCE. As ruler, he was best known for his encouragement of Greek culture and institutions. His attempts to suppress Judaism, basically suppress the Israeli people, the true descendants of Israel. And we know who the true descendants of Israel are. Brought on the third war of Maccabees. So, through tradition, these people are here to deny the real people, the kingdom of Israel. They're copycatting everything they see in the Bible, and they're going to rewrite it right here in our faces. That's what they're doing right now. Oh my goodness. And you know what? We're making it so bad. I did not even know nothing about this. Nothing about this. This Antiochus IV of Epiphanes. So he's mimicking the Antichrist. This the first person that was the Antichrist. This was the first Antichrist, or the Anti-Messiah. That's what we say in the house of Israel. He's the first Anti-Messiah. He did everything basically for the Hellenistic Syrian kingdom. And we all know what Hellenistic means. We know exactly what this means. So the forces of good and evil are true. So that's what we're fighting against. We're fighting against pure evil here. They have arisen their anti-Messiah. So they have an anti-Messiah looks like they have an anti-Messiah every 2,000 years. They bring one. Like it take them 1,000 years for them to find one, and take them 1,000 years for them to breed it or make one or whatever. But this is truly real. So this person was the first anti-Messiah, and now we have the second anti-Messiah. Let's see. It says what? Let's read up. Let's finish reading this. Antiochus was the third son of Antiochus III the Great, after his father's defeat by the Romans in 190 and 190 BCE, 189 BCE. He served as a hostage for his father in Rome from 189 BCE to 175 BCE, where he learned to admire Roman institutions and policies. His brother King Celestius IV exchanged 100 of 1,139 words. So basically, let's see, this guy here, Antiochus III, after his father's defeat by the Romans, he was serving, he was captured by the Romans, and he served them, and he learned their history and their technology, and then hostage for his father in Rome from 189 to 1, where he learned to admire. Right, which is crazy, but he became a Roman himself. But he's actually not a Roman. He's a Syrian. And turned himself into a Roman. Which is interesting. Well, he had to, because they killed his father was defeated. So he had no choice but to make himself into a Roman. But he's a person of Syrian descent. And these people are supposed to be what you call the Romans were supposed to be like the purest race, the blonde hair, blue eyes, purest race thing they had going on back then. But you had a Syrian. This guy was basically he could have been Arabic. He could have been either Arabic or Islamic, of that descent, but he made himself into a Roman. That's interesting, because he made himself into a Roman, and then rose to power. Let's see, Rome, 175, 174. So after 175, with 215. $175. Well, yeah, he went back and made himself into. He went back to Iran and made himself into a popular. He grew himself into popularity because he knew of how the Romans had structured their institutions and their culture and everything, and their laws and everything. And he studied that shit, and he learned that shit. So I see that now. And then he went back to Syria, and used everything that he learned in Rome to take over Syria at this time, between 175 and 164 BCE. Okay, so the Romans bred the first Antichrist. Just like what we're seeing now here in America, the American people themselves have bred their own Antichrist into existence. This is wild. This is wild. Let's go back to the to what the Britannica says also about the Antichrist. Okay, the 4 books of the New Testament that fuel Christian belief in Antichrist, with the anti-Messiah, were the first epistles of John, the Revelation of John, and the second letter of Paul to the theologians. Okay, I know about that. See, the first 3 of these were written near the end of the 1st century. Okay, right after, right after his death. That's why they know. This is why the Bible is so true, because they've watched Yahshua's sacrifice and they relayed everything into the New Testament. That's why the date of his sacrifice is crucial to know that the Antichrist has risen. He was executed on 320 BCE. And these are basically scholars. These are scholars. Paul, John, basically, they're scholars, and they wrote down notes on what these people actually did to Yahshua. They're the 2 witnesses to Yahshua's testimony. Let me keep reading this. The first 3 of these were written near the end of the 1st century. The last was written either by St. Paul the Apostle shortly after 50 BCE, or by one of Paul's immediate disciples some 20 or 30 years ago. Neither two theologians nor revelations use the term anti-Messiah. See? They knew this dude was gonna come about and try to change everything and try to change everything, you know? Like, this was all predicted. That's why my grandmother told me you should read your Bible and hold your peace. That's another thing with those Nazi supporters down there near Cincinnati. We ain't gonna deal with that. We know that they're gaslighting because they don't want us to figure out that the Antichrist has risen. And what we have to understand as a community, as being a diverse community, that our diversity is what's going to bring us together, not set us apart. And we need to use that diversity to come together peacefully, because we know that we are dealing with the anti-Messiah. The anti-Messiah has risen among us. So we have to refocus our energies on having peaceful energies, like what Martin Luther King taught us during the Civil Rights Movement. Of course, they're going to try to get rid of civil rights and everything and civil liberties, because the Antichrist has risen. And this is what it is. This is what it is. The first epistle of John introduces an important distinction between the Antichrist who will come and the many Antichrists who are already active in the world. Right, he's the main one. You got all the minions, and then you got the main person. That's the main Antichrist. That's in your face all the time. You're the main person, exactly. This distinction not only enables believers to degenerate contemporaries as antichrists or anti-messiahs without having to label a single individual as an anti-messiah, but also, it's so obvious, but also allow them to identify the body of the anti-messiah as collectively existing in the present, but destined to have its day of triumph in the future. so, so the end Messiah is real. And you know what? My friend Israel, 20 years ago, I'm telling you, 20 years ago, I'm going all the way back to my earlier studies, and he told me that the Antichrist was going to arise, and that was in 2003. And I said, Antichrist. He said one day the world. I hope he listened to these videos too, man. I hope he didn't crash out there and fall into any trouble. But he told me that the Antichrist, the Messiah was going to rise in the future. But he really didn't give me a date. He did not give me no dates or indicators. He just threw me all the information right there and let me know when the Antichrist was going to rise. And now we see it. We see it. We all see the Antichrist, the Messiah rising. And those locations and those areas that they're picking, you know, the Hellenistic ruler of Palestine, if we're not dealing with a copycat, I don't know what this is. That's the scary part, because I see this right here, and it's acknowledging the fact that we're dealing with a copycat again. Oh, refresh that. It keeps refresh that. We see that shit. Go back down. We see that shit. That's why we got it on live. The Hellenistic ruler of Palestine. I'm warning you people. So the people that protesting and stuff right now, they have the right to protest. I mean, if it ain't no way for them to get their point across that they're being wrongfully done, I mean, they're going to try to take away the right for people to protest and everything. They're basically going to try and cause a whole bunch of riots in the end. You people need to get ready, because they're going to try to have one person going against the other, and the whole thing is to divide and conquer, because this is being copycatted from somebody else pulling this shit off 2,000 years ago on us. And somebody trying to pull this shit again. And I'm warning you people to, like what I'm doing myself. My grandmother has passed away. She been gone for almost 16 years. And she just been, I feel like her spirit be talking to me. And I feel like that she be wanting me to read the Bible and stuff sometime, and not be geared toward bullshit, because it's so easy to get caught off in a lot of bullshit these days, but it's so hard to focus back on doing the right thing. And that's something that I remember that she taught me, to stay in my Bible and to stay peaceful with my family and to stay peaceful with my enemies. Now that I see that the Antichrist has arisen, there's no way you're gonna win a physical battle against these people. If you're just like me, we're already outnumbered. The only thing you can do is wait for the Messiah to come save us, and there is a real Messiah, since they have a real Antichrist. See, they always gotta have a copycat. The devil has to make a copycat in order to copy Yahshua. To copy the Son. The Son was the ultimate sacrifice. So we have the copycat. and it's in our face, and that's the most scariest part. What I just revealed this morning to myself. Just so much that we fighting within ourselves, and then we're already fighting with the forces and principalities that's around us. It's just going to take a lot of mental and spiritual strength in order for us to get through this. And if you're a true listener and you've been truly watching my videos and stuff, you understand that we are running out of time. I hate to say it, because they only come up with the Antichrist stuff, so they won't reveal who the real true tribe of Israel is. And if we find out who we are, then we're gonna want our shit back. And then they don't want no big war to get started and everything, because the people that's over there, they really not part of the children. I mean, they're descendants, but they're not the real descendants of Israel. The real descendants of Israel, the holy bloodline has been covered up here in America, in the United States. The true descendants of this was my teacher always told me. The true descendants of Israel are here in the United States of America. All those people are fighting for land that don't even belong to them. That land don't even belong to them over there. And everybody's fighting over that land. Because you got the copycat, the Hellenistic ruler of Palestine, who's trying to make another attempt to destroy his people. To destroy the real children of Israel. To destroy the real descendants of Israel. Stay tuned.